may have a really bright child, but they're struggling. You might start hearing things in school conferences or have heard in conferences like, your child's really smart. They just need to try harder or stay on task better or things like that. When you have a smart child that struggles, it can be kind of confusing because it's like, well, my child's very bright. So then why is reading hard or math hard or why can't they get their homework turned in? So here's a few strategies to consider to help you in that situation. One is you want to make sure you're communicating with your child's teachers, understand where they're falling behind, whether the teacher has any specific areas of concern. Teachers may also have suggestions for certain supports or enrichment activities. The other would be to assess for any learning disabilities, right? So if there's a gap between your child's abilities and their performance, it might be worth investigating if there is maybe a learning disability at play. So if you're getting an educational assessment, you need to have that done by a licensed psychologist who has the credentials to give that kind of a full assessment. That can be really helpful. But if your child comes back with a learning disability or dyslexia or ADHD or something like that, or executive function issues, it's still really critical to identify the root cause. Because just because, for example, a child might be diagnosed as ADHD, it doesn't always say, well, here's why. And so that's something that we can really help with at LearningRx. We don't diagnose, but we work with students who have those diagnoses and can really help them improve their skills to minimize the symptoms of attention issues or dyslexia issues. And so because of, our ability to get to the root cause, that can be really helpful to help your child, reach their potential and strengthen those skills. It's really common that we see a lot of students who have what we call a split cognitive profile, where they have some real strengths, right? But then there's other weaknesses that, especially as they get older, start to pop up, like kids who have really strong logic and reasoning and those types of skills, but then their working memories may be low or their processing's low. And as they get into the harder grade levels, and for sure like junior high, those issues start to show up where they didn't really in third or fourth grade, where it didn't really require as strong of skills in those areas. So we can really help you discern what's happening as well, and more importantly, how to help your child reach their potential.